complained about how they always needed to be repaired. There were constant crashes and accidents because they were flying from China over the Himalayan mountains, which is known as the hump, from India into China. And in a lot of cases, the planes didn't make it. They had what they called the aluminum trail, which was really basically crashed American planes that went up over the mountain that were visible from the sky. My father was a front gunner. He flew in a B-24 Liberator. That was most of the planes that were used. They had two missions. One was to fly fuel and supplies into China for the Chinese Army and also American forces to fight back the Japanese. The second mission, or reason they were there, was to blow up bridges. They were known, the 436 Squadron was known as the Bridge Busters. Actually, that picture right here of the plane, if you look, there's a destroyed bridge. My father is actually in that plane at that moment, destroying that steel bridge. So it was a lot of effort to try to fight back the Japanese. I don't know if you remember, some of you would know the movie The Bridge on the River Kwai.
Yes.
Most of that was fictional, but a lot of it is not. There were actually two bridges crossing the river. One was steel and one was wooden. My father tells me that he actually went on strafing missions to destroy those bridges, and they were built and destroyed many times over and rebuilt, thanks to the POWs. My father, he never talked about the war until he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. In his late 70s, I said, I have to sit you down and you need to talk to me about all your experiences. And so I transcribed hours of tapes and put them into this book with some of his photographs, which were amazing. This was circulated around to my own personal family, so it's a little well-worn, but those are his words. And the photographs, it's interesting, not that he just took a number of wonderful images that I didn't realize he had. So the paper that these photographs are actually printed on are from his dress jacket that he had made for him in India. It was a white cotton dress jacket. And the reason behind that is thanks to a nonprofit in New Jersey called Frontline Arts. They have a veterans program where veterans encouraged to come in and take their uniforms, cut them up into small postage stamp pieces. They get fed through a masher, and it's made into pulp. That pulp is then spread out into these large vats of water, and the veterans will take a screen of a certain size, this is 11 by 14, scrape the pulp, and you have a sheet of paper. That is then squeezed, the water comes out of it, it's then put in a rack and it's dried, and then you come up with a sheet of paper. And so the veterans, and they're from all different wars, Afghanistan, the Gulf, Vietnam, they come every Thursday, and they create art, they may print photos, they may write poetry. One of them has a journal that they've created, their experiences. So it's very emotional, it's very therapeutic. Coming in together as a group, it gives a sense of camaraderie, something they miss from being overseas. This is a traveling show as well. This Front Arts is in Bainbridge, New Jersey, but they also have a mobile unit that takes it out to veterans in other areas. So it's open to anyone, if any of you know, or some of you may have uniforms that you want to donate. It's an excellent program, and I can give you more information on that. My daughter is the director.
Hi.
She can answer questions as well about that program, but it's a very wonderful program, very meaningful to these soldiers. So that's briefly the story behind all of this. Thanks.
So what years was he in India then?
I have his flight records from late 43 to early 45.
Okay.
They flew, they had X amount of missions and hours they had to fly.
All right.
And
Is
they
That
he
was gonna
just-
be my next questions. Were they there from the start to finish or what, but just not
No,
for
it was
submission?
rotating, then would come
Okay.
and go, and, yes, it was, unfortunately, his plane went down because of mechanical problems, and this fellow right here, Thielen Osnes, he was Norwegian, and interesting story, he and my father were in the back of the plane, because Thielen was the tail gunner, and he and my father were sitting there eating rations, and two of their engines caught on fire, and the other one was going. It's a 4-engine plane, B-24, and the pilot, Nolte, said over the intercom, "Guys, get your parachute, we gotta go." And so my father's parachute was in the front of the plane because he was the front gunner. Thielen apparently put on his parachute, and there's a trap door underneath the tail of the B-24. He parachuted out, and he drowned because they were going over a lake at the time. Had my father had his parachute back there, he would have went with him, but I wouldn't be here today. It's kind of a mind-blowing concept.
Yes, indeed.
So, he has a lot of good stories. I'm glad I finally got them, so.
Very much
If
so.
you have any questions, I'll be here.
They're gorgeous.